Creation's journey to life. In this journey, the patterns that constitute what we have accepted as our reality will be deconstructed through self-forgiveness and reconstructed through a commitment of correction to that which is best for all life. Day 80, Creating a Character. This post is part 3 of the Stepping Out of Character series. Read Day 78, Stepping Out of Character, and Day 79, Stepping Out of Character with Loved Ones, for further context and support. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that my mind is my political system, through which I debate the characters of various possible leading characters and then test them through people around me to see which character they like or dislike and which one they'll end up loving, which I use as the voting system to elect the next dictator character I will become, to see how great an influence I can exert and whether I can conquer other humans to become my audience and my slaves. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that in creating an influence, my main character will use backchat like gossip. Thus, in the form of gossip, talk itself into a state of rage that will become courage, that will be used to speak up and initially, secretively, gossip with just a few humans until their characters are influenced to speak together, which will indicate they have voted for me to speak for them. And then I will speak up to try and force a change in my environment that will suit my character. In this obviously making sure that I never get to the real issue of creating a world that is best for all life. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the political mind is constantly voting about the current main character that is leading the assault on the physical world, and that when the main character is not influential enough to empower other living beings for self-interest, I will start the political process of backchat to emphasize the uselessness of my main lead character till I have overthrown my current mental government in an attempt to radically revolutionize my character into a new self-government that will be a winner and more influential, to ensure that my character will get greater attention on the world stage, as that would confirm that my character production abilities are outstanding, and therefore my abilities of creator of characters are validated and therefore must be real. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that I have created the physical world as the ultimate trap by insisting on a social order that must respect my freedom to create more characters as I have accepted myself as a creator of characters in the political game of my mind that I call life. And because I am the character that creates, the life I create is always only to support my character as the only real creation, just because I created it. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the total world system of the physical world is based on the political mind blueprint, which each human uses in the evolutionary process that creates character upon character, attempting to build a stronger and stronger character with more and more influence, which is confirmed as good and great through the amount of possessions, whether it be money or knowledge accumulated in the physical world, and that character that have accumulated vast wealth or wisdom will protect their winning character until death to make sure the system that supports the character remains stable so that the character can keep on winning and being righteous. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that as character creator, as self as character, all parts of the character game start in thought, while thought is populated and created by the parent, focusing life on Earth as character building, devastating the real world by diminishing real life as only a commodity to serve character, making of life an illusion like a Hollywood movie. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the only real character from a human perspective is the human body, which at this stage is a slave to the mind dictator main character and without any real awareness yet. This body will have to be freed from the character of illusion that possess it to get to the point of being able to sort out the living world as reality to what is best for all living beings equally. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that anything taken personally is just a defense mechanism to protect a character from being diminished in its role of competing for validation and influence and happiness in the world of illusion as character to keep the illusion going. Because in the illusion, the character makes all the rules and is a law unto itself, regardless of what harm it bring to the natural living world. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that as long as a person is only a character that insists that their character is real, the person cannot be trusted with life and must thus not be allowed any influence in your life, as the character will always try and create a character in you that must support their character, causing just another stupidity loop of gossip and harm. I commit myself to show that as long as one creates self as a character in the mind, one is a criminal that abuses life for self-interest of the self created as character. I commit myself to show that character creation follows a democratic system in the mind to vote in the best dictator validated through the acceptance of lesser characters. I commit myself to show that thoughts as backchat is a debate that ends in a voting in, of a character that will become the main character in the game of abuse of life on Earth. I commit myself to show that destiny supports participants to develop self-honesty as breath, to be able to understand how self is creating self as a character, to be able to return home eventually in the real world, to clean up the mess created as the real living world. There is no magic shortcut out of the mess created as life lost in character. I commit myself to show that destiny haters are only characters attempting to protect their self-interested illusion, and character can invent any lie to influence other characters. And as a character is always only a lie, characters will only ever support lies, and thus attack the destiny message with every possible lie. Falling for the lie only confirms that one is only a character lost in the illusion of the lie of self as a creator, when this creator only creates illusions and lies of self-interest. I commit myself to show that each character knows it is a lie, and thus the constant fear and anxiety that keeps the character hyper-aware to protect itself as it fears not existing or being exposed as being only a lie. I commit myself to show that the only character valid for life on Earth is the physical body, in all its dimensions as one, and that no one on Earth yet understands who they are as a physical body, and that with the destiny process, one will discover the real self on Earth and will eventually be able to find real life and end the fake life as only a character of great lies and limitation. Start the journey to life today and join the destiny of life eternal. A recent study in South Africa confirms one of the way characters seek to evolve, as the study shows that 62% of teens and adults live in constant fear of missing out of something more exciting than what they are doing. So much for the political mind ever being able to create a character worthy of life. I commit myself to show that diversity is used to protect the characters right in the system, so that those characters that hold most power in the system are protected and are held in high esteem by lesser characters as an evolutionary high to be emulated as achieving the ultimate character, trapping the living world in a spiral of abusive character lies and illusions. I commit myself to show that gossip is always political, as it is the way the character lobbies other characters to influence the system to benefit the gossiping character to win more influence, never considering what is real, and always starts in thoughts as backchat first, and eventually becomes words spoken in small groups, seeking out potential weak characters that may be able to be influenced to join the crusade of the gossiping character to validate it through its belief in the righteousness of its cause. I commit myself to show that self-honesty will be tough, as the characters of the life of self have multiple diversions and know all the lies, and thus will do everything in thought backchat to invalidate self-honesty. Discipline self, breath by breath, in self-honesty to return to the physical body and to stop all thought, as thought only creates characters of illusion that lie.